I just, I don't understand. I don't, I don't get it. I don't understand how you could truly just, for the executives that are in charge of greenlighting shit like this, or however the movie process works. I know people have to watch these movies before they go in theaters. I know they do. I know people are not just blindly releasing shit like this without having it watched or tested or something. I know there are test screenings for shit like this. And I don't know what results you are getting in those test screenings. I don't know what results that you're getting by showing these things early, if you even are, because I'm pretty sure maybe this one just didn't get shown to anybody. Maybe they just completely snuck this past everybody, and because it was The Strangers, they thought it was a good idea to just push this thing out in theaters. But clearly no one is checking their work. That's why that shit was so important in school. No one is checking their work, because how do you release something like this and think, yeah, it's good? How do you release something like this and think you made a good movie? How do you release something like this and think you did a good job with adding to what I believe is now a dying franchise, because these sequels and now prequels are completely ruining what that original Strangers movie did for the Strangers themselves? But now these movies are just making them a lot less scarier, and it's honestly just making them a lot more annoying. And apparently there's supposed to be 2 more of these things. This is The Strangers Chapter 1. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and this is my review of The Strangers Chapter 1, starring Madeline Petch, Froy Gutierrez, Gabriel Basso, Rachel Shenton, and it was directed by Renny Harlin. And our story follows this couple who is on their little road trip, and essentially what happens is they pull over for food in this little small town, and they start to have car trouble, and end up having to stay the night in this Airbnb cabin in the middle of nowhere, and end up getting a visit from the Strangers. That's all I have for you. That is this plot. That's it. This, oh my god. That is literally the gist of this movie. It's literally the first movie, just without all the extraness in the beginning of the film. Because in the first Strangers, all they did was literally pull up to the cabin and the movie began. Here, they have to pull up to this town, be completely just confused about why everybody's looking so weird and looking so strange. And of course, they give you that weird cliche horror movie feel of there's something wrong with this town, there's something wrong with the people who live in this town, are they all in on it, blah blah blah. There was no effort put into making this movie whatsoever, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what gave them the idea that they think they can make a trilogy out of this, but this first movie clearly shows me you have no new ideas whatsoever, because you literally just copied the very first Strangers movie. From beginning to end, plain and simple. This is literally the first Strangers movies all over again. And it's a lot more boring, a lot less scary, and a lot more annoying. And what I mean by annoying is just the fact that how non-scary this thing is, how non-tension filled this thing is, how you just really at some point in time get so tired of all the bullshit and just want these motherfuckers to die, because there is nothing keeping your attention on that screen whatsoever. This movie is suffocatingly boring. And what made me even more upset about this movie is that the plot itself is just so nonchalantly put together. It's like, I don't even know if they're trying to build lore around these characters. I don't know if they're trying to build a story around this town. I don't know if they're trying to build some sort of world, some sort of true backstory to these stranger characters, but it's truly just frustrating how nothing is being added to their, I guess, legend, however you want to put it, their folklore, their lore, however you want to put it. Nothing is being added to these characters to make them more interesting. Strangers Prey at Night. The Strangers Prey at Night made these characters a more cartoonish version of themselves, and some people praise it for their quote-unquote 80s horror feel, or 80s slasher horror feel. Miss me with all that. The Strangers Prey at Night is not a good movie to me whatsoever, and it truly already ruined what I believe were very great characters. This only really needed one movie. The Strangers only needed to come out once, because this Prey at Night clearly didn't do anything for the franchise, and now they are literally just trying to beat the fuck out of this franchise with it, like, just completely beat it to death. Like, they are just completely ruining any good name that the Strangers had, and now they're just really trying to tarnish this thing very badly. I mean, this was atrocious. This was a really bad movie. This was a really just terrible effort, terrible attempt at making a movie. I mean, it was truly just... Let me breathe. It truly was just a mess. This thing, from beginning to end, this was a complete mess. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. The trailers did have my interests, but some things that did worry me was the cringy ass dialogue. What a cute little town. What a cute little town. What a cute little town. Like that line annoys me every time. And there's more cringy dialogue in this movie as well. It's just, I'm not sure who wrote this. Renny Harlin. I'm sure you will get another... I hope you get another chance to direct and to hopefully make something a lot better than this. I don't know if this was your vision for this movie or not, but it ain't it. This is not it. This is not it whatsoever. And honestly, I'll say this. What I did like about the movie, there were some very good creepy shots of the Strangers, of when they're stalking around the cabin, and you know, the two main characters don't notice them whatsoever, and there's some good shots of them just being creepy. There's one shot in particular that was my favorite, of the big guy just sitting behind the girl while she's playing the piano, just listening very silently. That was a great shot. But look at that. The best thing out of this entire movie that I'm telling you about is the camera shots. That's the best thing a horror can give you, is a camera shot. You're in trouble. You're in big trouble. If the best thing that somebody can walk out of a horror movie saying is a camera shot, and not even multiple, just like one or two, no. This is very stupid. This is very stupid. I don't understand the purpose of this movie. I don't understand the point of why they think they can make a trilogy out of this. The ending to this movie is one of the most non-affecting cliffhangers I think I've ever seen in my life. It To Be Continued came up on the screen, and I could care less whatever comes next. There is nothing keeping my interest in this franchise whatsoever. It's truly nothing. There is nothing keeping my interest whatsoever in this franchise. There's oh my god. There's even a mid-credit scene. That's one of the most ineffective mid-credit scenes I've ever seen in my life. It's just no point, no purpose whatsoever. Don't care about these characters. Don't care about the Strangers. Don't care about this town. Don't care about anything that's going on to these people. I just want them to die so I can leave the movie theater. That's what it felt like 40 minutes into this movie. I was ready for everyone to die so I could leave, because it was just, at some point, this was very hard to sit through. At some point, this got really hard to sit through, and I am begging the Strangers to just kill these people. I get it. It's their game to fuck around with people, to, essentially slowly stalk their prey. But at some point in time, this just got really annoying. This just got very annoying. There would be so many instances where you would see the Strangers, or one of the Strangers are in the same room as our main characters while they're trying to hide and figure out what the fuck they're going to do to survive. And they just take like 3 to 4 minutes after that, while you already know this person's in the room, to make you think these people have a shot at doing anything effective to help them live. And that just continues in a cycle for the entire movie until they get caught at the end. And it's not a spoiler. It's in the trailer. You see them tied up in there. You see them tied up in the trailer. And what made it even worse is one of my favorite lines in The Strangers, the original movie, is when, of course, she asked, "Why are you doing this to us?" And she said, "Because you were home." That's terrifying. I loved it. They changed it in this movie to, "Because you're here." That's so stupid. Why couldn't you just use the same line? Oh. Okay, Madeleine Petsch. I'll talk about the performances. Madeleine Petsch and Freud Gutierrez. They were a lot better than I actually thought. They are very cringy at times, I will not lie to you, but there are some instances where Madeline Pesh is really doing the whole crying and the tears and the Scream Queen thing, and she's not doing that bad of a job. She really isn't. The material she's given is complete trash. She's really not doing that bad of a job, though. I'm actually very thoroughly surprised. Froy Gutierrez as Ryan, very stereotypical douche of a character, not gonna lie to you. I mean, he just came off as kind of douchey to me, but it wasn't bad. Truly, the performances were not that bad in this movie. It's just what really surprises me is that they truly found a way to make a horror movie about being stalked by three strangers in the woods at night very boring and the most uninteresting thing I've ever been a part of. It's just nothing that's keeping my attention on screen. There's nothing that's keeping me intrigued into this movie whatsoever. I literally just have to keep forcing myself to just watch and hope this goes somewhere, but it truly doesn't go anywhere, doesn't heighten the story for me, doesn't make me interested in what's next. It makes me truly just want this franchise to die, lay in a ground and die. It no longer needs to continue. It does not need to exist. Stop making these movies. But of course, if this movie makes past its budget, which I can't imagine this movie costs more than $500K to make. This movie truly couldn't have been more than $500K. What is the production budget on this thing? Let's see. Let's find out, because I don't think it really cost them that much money. And so if that's the case, I know this thing is probably going to get that. Let's see, production. Let's see, production budget. This thing, it cost $8.5 million to make this movie. It's getting a sequel. It's gonna get a sequel. It's gonna make that over the weekend probably. So, oh well. Guess I have to continue to keep suffering through these. But look, overall, guys, I am thoroughly disappointed in this movie because I am a very big Strangers fan. I love the 2008 Strangers. That is one of my favorite horror movies of all time because I love the way that they use the environment and the silence to their advantage, and they make that such a very creepy movie. And I truly just liked how simple of a concept it was, that you had these two people coming from a wedding, honeymooning, and they were just in a cabin in the woods somewhere celebrating, and then they're just visited by strangers at night, and it's creepy as hell, and they don't know what the hell's going on. It was such a great concept. It was such a great concept back in the day, and now they have completely shattered that. They have completely ruined it. The strangers are not scary. These people are just stupid. Stupid and annoying. And I wish I had better things to say about this movie, but for all those reasons and so many more, guys, I'm going to give The Strangers Chapter 1 a 1 out of 5 stars. Alright, so The Strangers Chapter 1, have you seen it? Don't do it. Don't do it. Do anything else with your weekend. Don't go see it. I promise you, it's not worth your time. It's not worth your time nor your money. If you have Regal Unlimited or the AMC Movie Pass, by all means, because it ain't really costing us much, but if you really have to pay your hard-earned money to go see this movie, please do anything else with your time. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. But if you did see it, let me know what you thought. Be sure to leave a comment below, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff and so much more. Look, this is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.